Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Callum Simpson has his second fight in 3 weeks. He stopped Steve Woodall 3 weeks ago in 2 rounds, bit of a premature stoppage, but he was back in the ring and he fought Elvis Ahorgah from Ghana and defended his Commonwealth super middleweight title with a 5th round knockout. And Ahorgah at the end, I think it was the body punches that undid him really. Although Simpson did towards the end land a big overhand right. Orthodox guy Simpson, as was Ahorgah, and it was kind of accumulation of punches really. Ahorgah was just taking too many punches, and he went down on all fours, managed to get up sort of 9.5. I thought maybe the ref just thought I'll count him out anyway. But the expression on Ahorgah's face was, I don't really need much more of this, do I? It looked like he'd had the fight beaten out of him. And he did. He was beaten up, to be honest. Now, that's not to say that he didn't make any effort. He did make a lot of effort. I mean, even before the fight, he was, he calls himself the soldier. He's only 24 years old, Ahorgah. Well, so he says. You never know with these African lads, do you? But he looks small for the weight. I don't know, maybe Simpson's just so big for the weight. But Ahorgah looked to me like a middleweight in there with a super middle. And he was eager before the fight. I'm coming here. I'm going to take you into places you've never been. I'm a warrior. I'm a soldier. Okay. He got in there and he came to the ring. It was all very colourful. He was all dressed up in camouflage, as were the crowd, the team, and he had Bob Marley's Buffalo Soldier bringing him to the ring. And when the fight started, he showed a lot. He showed a lot of guts, a lot of fortitude. Very crude, swinging wide punches. Not a great deal of jabbing going on. But yeah, to be honest, Simpson did look like at least one weight division bigger. Simpson, like yesterday night, which was Friday, on the Next Gen show that Matchroom did, I think it was at the Indigo 02, George Liddard fought, and him and Simpson have, they look similar in the way they're built and their styles very similar. I think Liddard what's Liddard, middleweight, isn't he? So he's only a young man, 22. Maybe they'll meet in the future at super middle, because I think Liddard will probably move up a weight eventually. Simpson's 28, so another couple of years, that'd be a good fight. It'd be a very, very good fight. But while it lasted, Elvis Ahorgah was swinging those wild punches. Simpson was picking him off, jabbing very well. Like I say, the body work started to go in very early, which is always a good sign. He was bringing the punches over the top, good right hands over the top. Ahorgah came in with 13 wins and 12 KOs and 2 defeats. He was stopped last year in an African middleweight or super middleweight title fight. And at the risk of sounding repetitive, he does look like a middleweight. I think that was for the African middleweight title. He needs to go back down to middleweight, down to 11 stone 6. These guys are too big for him, because he was motivated and he's obviously got a little bit of pop to his punches, but he just couldn't put a dent in Simpson. You had this sort of image in your head of Ahorgah hitting a brick wall, whereas Simpson, even though Ahorgah was absorbing a lot of punishment early on very well, you got the feeling that Simpson was, eroding him, which is exactly what happened. Simpson much, much more skillful, slicker punches, held his shape very well. Ahorgah did in the 3rd round, I think. It was the 3rd round, he managed to push him back to the ropes. But Simpson, he wasn't that bothered. He was, there were a few punches that landed over the top, clipped Simpson. Nothing that bad. Ahorgah seems to like the left hook. It did land. It landed in the 1st round. And in fairness, Simpson, I think, did have a bit of a bloody nose. We had some abrasions around his nose and his mouth, but they were very minor. I think he just ground Ahorgah down for a 5th round KO. And now he moves to 17 wins, no draws, no defeats. He's got 12 KOs. He's a Yorkshire lad from Barnsley. As well as this Commonwealth title, he's also got the British. So 2 fights in 3 weeks. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Like I say, he's 28, so what's he waiting for? Maybe defend the British, move up to EBU level, win that, and then move on to world-class honours, perhaps. But I'm glad to see him doing it the old-fashioned way. Don't forget, Simpson has a win over Zach Chelly. That was when he won the British and the Commonwealth titles. That was a good win. That was a 12-rounder. It's a good opponent. So he knows he can do 12. So he's been brought along very, very well. And super middleweights, obviously at world level, they're tied up, aren't they? So what's the hurry, I mean, when I say what's the hurry, I mean, don't jump to world level yet. Go for EBU. Why not bang another couple of 12-rounders in there? And then when those super middleweight belts do go up in the air, as inevitably they will at some point, unless Canelo holds them to ransom forevermore, then he can maybe pick one of them up further down the line. He's a young 28, hasn't had that many fights for a man of that age. But I like the way he's brought along. I really do. And I think we're going to see more of Callum Simpson. Maybe not within the next 3 weeks, but you know what I mean. Anyway, what did you think of this fight? Let me know. Comments below. And please like the video if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button if you don't mind, because that helps us out. And spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Bye for now.